Well, we've been speaking so much in regards to technology this week with the GITEX conference on. I know it's more than just the flying cars, but it seems as though every company everywhere is innovating to some degree.
See, that's the way of the future. If you don't innovate, you will stagnate. And if you stagnate, well, I mean, today you might be probably pulling in people, but tomorrow definitely they're not looking back at you. You need to be two steps ahead of what you are today to be, probably profitable in business in the coming times.
And there's been an innovative extension of the region's first health information exchange platform entitled Malaffi. The Department of Health in Abu Dhabi, the DOH, have launched the Malaffi Health Portal at GITEX Global this year. And to speak more about this is the CEO, Robert Dennison. Thank you very much for joining us here on Talk 100.3.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Glad to be here.
It's great to have you here. Now, to go back to the start specifically, what is this app, Malaffi? Is this an opportunity to have all of your records and all of your healthcare details in the one app? Is that right?
That is it. We're the first app of its kind here in the region, and we're excited to be launching that. We collect all types of information from the providers in Abu Dhabi, demographic information, allergies, procedures, diagnoses, labs, radiology, medications, which are extremely important for patients to have access to, clinical notes, and we're serving that information up through our health app, the Malaffi Health Portal.
Right. So when so much of information is collected at one place, it also could be, putting in that kind of a doubt in the mind of a user that, hey, is all of this information that I've stored on this app, on the databases, is it safe? How do you take care of the security of the data?
Yeah, I love that question, and I love to be asked that. We take data stewardship, privacy, and security extremely seriously. That's one of the cornerstones of our system and our application that now we're providing that information back to the patients. So that's a cornerstone, and we continue to be at the forefront of security. There's a lot of threat actors out there that we're always cognizant of, and we focus heavily on that information security aspect. And so it's a secure system and confidential as well.
Does this work that if I'm currently seeing a doctor and then I move to go see another doctor, that therefore the other doctor will have access to all of my records and information via the app?
They will if they have a relationship with you, correct.
Okay.
The providers can only see your information if they have a relationship with you, meaning that you're registered within their system. So they can't just freely access and search for your information. So that's a key aspect of that privacy.
Yeah. So I would have to give them access. If I saw a new doctor, I would have to allow them to see the records?
You would be registered within their system, and then they can access your information.
Okay.
Right. So now, is this only Abu Dhabi based? Because you said that all the information is being collected from hospitals and places of medical practices within Abu Dhabi, or is it, or in some time to go, we will probably have it across all UAE?
So currently we're focused on Abu Dhabi. That's the relationship we have with Department of Health. And so Department of Health of Abu Dhabi. So we're focused on the Abu Dhabi market. Now we do work with the other health information exchange for the other regions. And so we're collaboratively working with them to connect the information as well. So if patients do move between Abu Dhabi and Dubai, for instance, that information could be shared between those providers that are crucial in your care.
So going to the research, studies show that most patients forget up to 80% of the instructions whenever they leave a clinical setting. That could be many reasons. They're drifting off, they're thinking about something else. It could be the bad news they've been given or the good news, or sometimes it just could be a breakdown in a lost in translation, or it could just be how bad the handwriting is of the doctor. I don't know. There's always a lot of aspects, to this, Robert. So are you saying that once I leave that consultation, those instructions will also be available via the app?
Correct. So we have the clinical notes that will be available in the app, so you can review it. Really key too are those patients, as you said. Most people forget the instructions they receive when they leave a practice, for instance. And in fact, in my own family, my wife had surgery many years ago, and we don't even remember the provider or any of the information related to that, right? Key is the medications too. So you'll be able to see what medications are prescribed, the dosage that you're supposed to take. So all that's going to be in the app. So extremely beneficial. those patients that have, really complex healthcare journeys and chronic conditions. So we're excited to be able to help them in their care.
You mentioned a very interesting point there, where you said that the prescription and all those details will be given in, post-op care or post care of any treatment that is going on is extremely important. Come out of a surgery and then there are a certain number of physiotherapy sessions that you have to do, or you have to take a certain number of medicines for a certain number of time. Like Kitch mentioned, you tend to forget. You tend to probably feel that, I'm feeling better right now. I had a leg surgery 3 weeks back. Now I'm feeling better. I don't need physiotherapy sessions. Or medicines for that matter, if you're not used to taking medicines every single day in case of diabetes or heart ailments. Is there a notification, a pointer where a notification chimes in that, ting, ting, time to take your blood pressure medicine. Ting, ting, time to take your diabetes medicine.
That is absolutely something on our journey that in our roadmap that we'll be incorporating here in the near future. So we have a number of other features that we expected to bring in. This is just the beginning for us. And in fact, we want to know more from the public. So we expect to put a survey within the app itself so we can hear from the public what features are important to them, whether it be those type of features along, notifications, is it items such as scheduling potentially in the future. So we're going to really dive deep into the feedback from the patient network, and then continue to elaborate and build upon what we've built today.
Because I think that we're all become so accustomed to this ever since COVID and the Al Hosn app, the idea that, the green PCR square, that has become part of life over the past 2 years, is this the idea that even if people sort of reject it or they fear it, it's going to come in so gradually that in 5 years' time you'll wonder how you ever got by without it? Or is that
I believe so. Yeah, I mean, we all have a number of different applications today, from banking. I can't tell you the last time I actually walked into a bank. And now healthcare is obviously quite a bit different. We fully recognize that. But I do think, as you said, the patient journeys are changing. Brick and mortar are not necessarily the way that people are engaging with their providers. And so, this is the first step. We're having patients have access to their information. And then how can we continue to change that journey that supports the digital transformation within Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. But I think the next step after this is the same app, but for pets and vets, because we all know in the UAE, there's a lot of people that spend a lot of money on their pets, like their kids. I think that should be the next avenue if you're looking to profit from this.
Well, maybe that's something we got to look at. I brought my cat over from the United States. The poor guy is an international traveler.
Yeah. Well, then
so.
if you went to a different vet over here, you'd want to be able to share the information.
No, I think
right.
for one day we've given enough ideas. We'll start sending our quotations, Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys have your next business after radio. So
okay, I think so. We've got some work to do. We better let you go back and enjoy the rest of your time. So you're serious on that? You've actually brought the cat all the way out from the United States?
Yeah, of course.
Well, how long is it? Do you live here now permanently, or are you just here for a short time?
No, I've been out here for 3.5 years.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you'd come for a week and you brought your cat with you. I thought you were here for Gitex.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
I understand. Well, thank you very much. I know it's busy at the moment with Gitex, but thank you very much for joining us to discussing more about the Malaffi app.
Yeah, good catching up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's Robert Dennison. He is the CEO of Malaffi, and I think this is a great option. As he said, you get those reminders of what kind of medication you've been using, maybe the dosage and the strength. You do forget these things, so to have it there in an app is excellent.
I think it's a great idea. Everything in one place. And you don't really have to look around when you have the next doctor's appointment to carry papers if the doctor has changed. It's a country where people are on the move, right? If the doctor that you've been going to has moved and probably has found a better job in Australia, who do you go to? You go to your new doctor, and the doctor doesn't know your history. Show him the app and he's got all the information and you're sorted.
If only you could have this with friends. When you go to a new friendship group, here's my app. Here's all the details of all my previous friends and ex-girlfriends and all the stuff I'm funny about. Here, you can learn that about me, and now we can be friends again.
The ex-girlfriend bit would be a paid app.
Well, maybe there's some opportunities to investigate. TSB talk.